try to, never mind, I'll do it, no, I'll just edit the beginning now.
This is action. I don't think you need to edit this out. What are you trying to do?
I was trying to get it to come in closer.
Well, then don't you just...
No, I'm trying that. I'm gonna try that.
That's gonna be
That's not working.
that is gonna be history right there.
Let me see. It's supposed to go like that. I should be able to put it through the thing, but it's not working. It'll work fine.
All right, this is where we're going.
This is how we're gonna be.
Hey, you're blocking the light.
You're blocking the light. We only got so much time here. We are on location.
On location.
At Jimmy's house. Told you I was going to track him down, so that's what we're doing. But it's nice and warm in here. I don't know if you can tell it. We got some of the drywall going through.
Yep.
It's starting to get
All
dark.
the drywall is done.
Yes. Hopefully, at some point, we might have to have Jimmy turn the flashlight on his phone because I had a little bit of difficulty finding the flashlight on my phone the other day, and I'm never going to hear the end of it, but that's what my family does. And if
Well, scoot closer.
we do that, yeah, that might work.
Okay,
I
there
can't-
we are.
Well, you got to move over. What is all this stuff?
That's the mud.
Oh, all the mud's over here, which was our little shelf.
There, that's better.
There we are.
Perfect.
Today is, it actually is. Today is Wednesday. You can't even
Can't
wait.
even wait.
February 9th. Although I usually have this up at midnight on February 9th. So.
That is true, you do. So,
But he was going to come yesterday. You were going to get a haircut.
got a haircut? It's all matted down. Doesn't look good as it did when I
He's got a
there.
haircut. We came to, I don't know if you've seen on the news that there's a backup for the,
Right at my exit.
right at his exit. So we were like 10, 15 minutes waiting to get off, and we had to wait till the last opportunity to go on the part of the road.
Well, you got to explain. The truckers.
Oh, the truckers are on strike.
They're on not on
Well, not
strike.
strike,
They're
protesting.
protesting the
Vaccine mandate.
vaccine mandate to go across the bridge. The bridge to Canada is the Blue Water Bridge is probably 10 minutes from here.
You're right.
But the rest stop for the truckers are at my exit. There's a Love's
Right.
gas station with the whole
Right,
parking lot
and then
in the
just
back.
before we get to Jimmy's exit, there's an official
Yeah.
rest stop. And that place was jam-packed. And then they're all parked at the side of the road.
Yeah.
If I can figure out how to put a video in here, I'll put a little video to show you how backed up it is. Usually they cross at the Ambassador Bridge, which is in downtown Detroit, which is what you think about
And not even 45 minutes, hour here away.
from that, yeah.
Yeah.
And they handle, what do we saw that on the news? They handle between
10,000 trucks.
10 to 15,000 trucks a day.
Yes.
And Blue Water usually only handles 5,000 trucks a day.
And they're getting all 10 to 15,000.
And they're getting them all. And so it's all backed up. And Blue Water is only a 2-lane bridge, whereas the Ambassador Bridge is a 4-lane bridge.
yeah.
So the people that want to get to Canada have to take the tunnel.
Well, the
through-
truckers can't take the tunnel.
The tunnel, yeah, the
Yeah.
truckers can't take the tunnel.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for the truckers because they're sitting on the side of the road and they got to run their trucks for the gas to keep their trucks warm.
Right.
And they have beds in their car, their trucks, because they're like overhaul truckers. And, but there's no,
It's call research.
there's no bathrooms, there's no restaurants, and if they run out of gas, I don't know what they're gonna do. And then they interviewed a couple of them, and they don't have any money,
Oh, crap. We might have to edit this.
Oh, we'll be right back. You gotta hit the off button though, because I'm not getting up again.
Well, it could have been for my cabinets. That's why I wanted.
Yeah, we deleted it right away because we get so many spam calls.
Yes.
So, but anyway, look at, we're only 10 seconds in.
Not bad.
Not bad. We're doing pretty good. There, we're doing well. Before we got here, just real quick before we get into the Ask Us Anything, Jimmy called us up and asked us if we would go to Danny's house first to pick up his paint sprayer, which is about 20 minutes south of us. Jimmy
Yes.
lives about 25 minutes north of us.
Yes.
And we get there and we're looking and we can't find it. And then finally genius here.
It's in my shed at the rental.
Yeah. 5 minutes away.
No, I stopped and got the paint, and then I'm like, I got to get the paint sprayer from Samantha's dad's. So I went over there, and we tore the garage up, and he's like, are you sure it's here? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, well, I know we wouldn't have buried it because that's one of the things you were going to need, because I left my tools in order of the way the house was going so I can just grab them as I go and bring them here. And he goes, so it's got to be right here. And then he stops and he kind of like, he's like, is it at your brother's? And I'm like, it is at my brother's. So then I called them, asked them to stop. But what I was thinking of was not the paint sprayer. I was thinking of the shop vac that I needed, and then forgot to tell him to bring the shop vac.
And we kept seeing the shop vac because he kept saying, it's next to the shop vac. It's next to the shop vac. There's nothing there next to the shop vac. And so we get here and he says, did you bring the shop vac? No, you didn't tell us to bring the shop vac.
So it's at my, long story short, it's at my house.
Well,
I'll have it tomorrow.
Yeah, Danny will bring it for the thing. Oh, look, you got a hole in your door.
No, there's plastic there.
Oh, okay. Enough of this now. Okay. I was gonna say, and the stuff, Jimmy's, mostly his household stuff is in my basement.
Yes.
So he's got most of his stuff all over the place. Anyway, we got lots of comments and suggestions. Nancy Who 52 says, Nancy Who 52 says, thanks again for another great Ask Me video. She loves these. She loves my concept of spirits. Remember I told you that God only has them look at you when you're being in a good mood?
That is true.
The question she has is, do you ever have reoccurring dreams?
I really don't dream that much. I used to a lot, but not reoccurring, but
Tell them about your dream when you were quitting smoking.
That was so long ago. Which one?
The one you had all the vivid cartoon dreams.
Oh, yeah, when I was on Chantex. Any dream I had was in cartoon form. Yes. That was like weird. Like, I'm not saying like animated, I'm like you're watching the Flintstones. That's what everyone looked like. It was like,
he'd come and tell us his cartoon dreams.
Yes.
He had a lot of them.
I had dreams then. That was.
And you stopped smoking for a long time at that point.
I did. I'm going to try again anytime soon.
He tries again. Like my weight loss. He's never quitting. He's never stopping.
My mother told me never to be a quitter.
Don't be a quitter. That's right. I have many sayings that I told my kids. It's better to need it
than want it.
It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So, I have my reoccurring dream that I got the bathrooms are so disgusting. They're so disgustingly dirty. I don't understand. I had another one last night. It's just like, Becky Fisher said she just loves us. You always make my day. When her husband and her were dating a friend of ours, her friend told her that her husband's favorite movie was The Sound of Music. Oh. And when he was a child, because he couldn't go out and play with the other children because he couldn't walk. Later, he told her husband what she had said, and he says, well, where did she ever get that idea from?
So was it even true?
He says he didn't know where she got that idea, and that he didn't like The Sound of Music, and that it didn't have anything to do with him that he couldn't go out and play.
Nice.
So, she said her husband is handicapped and wasn't able to walk without braces until he was 9 years old. But The Sound of Music didn't play into that at all.
The Sound of Music did not play
into that. It just shows you your concept of what people think is handicapped. I mean, he probably never thought of himself as handicapped, and here his cousin probably thought, he's so handicapped, and he really wasn't. It is all in your mind. It really is. Nancy Who 52 again.
Who?
Yeah, Nancy Who. Thanks for the videos. Your meals always look really good. Dreams can come true. If you work at it, Jimmy is definitely a great example of that.
Thank you.
She's congratulating us on finishing the puzzle. If you watch my daily vlog today, Jim showed you a tutorial of how he mounts it onto the canvas board. Kit Kat 10 says, will Jimmy have a large outdoor area for a deck or a gazebo?
Right behind us.
Right there.
Yep.
His pond was supposed to be in the distance.
Yeah, the pond was supposed to be in that.
Don't ever say never.
We don't bring that up with Samantha.
Yeah.
It's kind of like my pole barn that was going to happen.
Yeah, he's not getting his pole barn right away either. Things get started.
This is a little more important.
Yeah. And also, when did you start the tradition of going to the cottages and who all went?
Everybody.
Everybody went. Yeah, but Jim didn't go.
Well, the men didn't go.
You could be on ours. Come in the back here.
I know.
Oh, okay, because we have them in the background over here.
Men had to keep working. so they didn't go.
Well, we needed the money
Yeah.
so that we could go.
So we needed the money so all 50 of us could go into the same
Into
cottage.
a one-bedroom cottage.
A
Right.
one-bedroom cottage. Yes, it was very small. My mother actually
How
started.
much was that back then? Like we'll say when I was 12.
When you were 12 to rent it, I think it cost me, my share probably was like $30.
$30? You couldn't pay $100 and get us a bigger place?
No, it was like, we liked it. It was cozy.
Cozy.
It was-
Yeah, you guys were you had a bed. Yours
No,
was
I
cozy.
didn't. I slept on the couch.
Okay, you still had a couch. You didn't have to trip over people whenever you rolled over.
I was in that tiny little
You didn't
room.
have a click-click lawn
I didn't
chair.
have
Yeah, you didn't wear
I didn't have one of the click-clicks. No, I didn't. But
getting everything pinched in between those little rubber things.
but I had that big old crib in my room.
Oh, you poor
But
thing.
you didn't get to use the crib, Jimmy, because Jimmy was spoiled.
I was a runner.
He was a runner. When Jimmy was little, he was we got him out of a crib when he was like 13 or 14 months old, because Jimmy
I
was.
don't even think it was that, was it?
Yeah, it was at least that, because you didn't walk until you were like 11, 12 months old. You walked late,
Oh, okay.
later than Danny. Danny walked at 9 months.
Right.
Christy walked at 10 months. Jimmy was kind of lazy in that
I
sense.
was just like, yeah, she'll get me.
But Jimmy would crawl out of his crib. He was a climber, even at a little age, and I would put him in the crib for the night because he always wanted to sleep with us. And I'd wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm a very light sleeper, but I don't know how he's managed. He probably climbed over his dad. But I would wake up and he'd be in the middle sleeping. So I'd pick him up and bring him back into the bedroom and put him into his crib. And before I got back into the bed, he had climbed out of his crib, ran down the hall, and got into the bed. Many a time, he passed me in the hall because our bedroom was here. There was a hallway and then another bedroom, which was his bedroom.
Yep.
And he would climb out of that crib and he would beat me getting back to the bed. We gotta make sure this isn't one of his.
We got to answer this one.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we had to take that call.
We had to take that. That was Felipe. I still haven't. I'll try to get him on video. I've tried to get everyone on video, but I don't want to stop them because they're moving.
Yeah.
But he's a good guy. He did a very good job.
But anyway, my mother would go to the cottage. When she was a little girl, my grandfather used to drop them all off. There was 10 kids. He would drop them off the day school got out, and then he wouldn't pick them up till the day before school went back. So my mother started the tradition, and then we always went. When I was little, we always went, and my parents would. Well, my dad never came, but my mother would have us rent one cottage with the 6 kids, and then my Aunt Agnes and Uncle Warren would have the cottage next to us, and they had 10 kids. And then my Aunt Shirley would be in another cottage, and she had 5 kids. And then my Aunt Rose would have hers, and she had 4 kids. And then my Aunt Marge would come with her 4 kids. And so
They didn't have cable back then. Could you tell?
no, no.
They
And
were
so,
Catholic.
Yes,
And
they were
Catholic,
Catholic. Yeah,
so.
so that kind of explains that. And so then when I just always brought my kids, and we still go. Jimmy doesn't go because he's a prima donna.
Nightmares.
He's a prima donna. We had fun. You can't say we didn't have fun.
I had fun when I was out of the cottage. Then I had fun.
Yeah. Well,
The minute it was like, shut in, you're staying here. Oh, if it was raining, I was pissed
yeah,
off.
I always liked when it rained. We always had one day where it was raining. We were all stuck in the cottage. So we'd go into town and go to the Stices that have pizza.
Yeah, that took up an hour.
Yeah, I know, but well, even Danny said that he remembers when he was little that it was always like a big adventure because we'd only go into town once a day, and he always thought it was so far away. And now that he comes as an adult, he says it's like a 10-minute drive.
It is. It's not even that far.
It's not even that far. But when we were little, we always made him
Right.
think that it was so far away to go. But we're going again in July if you want to come up.
No, I can't go because that's when my
Golf thing is,
tournaments
that's right.
are always.
Darn.
Darn.
Ding.
Valerie Reese said people always come up with some really good questions, and she enjoys these, even though they're
So do we.
long. This one's going to be really long, I think.
No, we're only at a minute.
Oh,
2
that's true.
minutes.
2 minutes in.
I mean, 2 minutes
We're
in.
doing well.
We're doing awesome.
Carol Schwalke, Schwalke, says, "Hi, Sandy and Jimmy. I'm curious, when you edit a video, how do you actually do it? I do an iMovie video. Jimmy doesn't do it. Jimmy just sends me his clips.
I go here.
Yeah, he sends me a clip. Some of his, if you've noticed on his, I figured out how to, because so many of Jimmy's clips you only see like from his mouth down, but I figured out a way to edit it now that I can get his whole face in. So if you see your videos, it's my excellent editing skills.
I don't know how you're getting half of my face when I'm looking at all of my face. on
I'm
the
going to
phone.
show him on a video.
No, I've seen it, but I don't know how when I'm looking at my entire face on
That's
the
the
screen.
video you're sending me. Even when I look at it on my phone, that's how I see it.
Okay.
But I fixed it. And the way I make it seem so seamless is, I notice a lot of channels like like I'm talking right now and they might not like something I'm going to say next, and then they'll clip it and then they'll go in. I just leave it in. So I just end a clip with where I ended up filming. So that's why it seems so seamless, I guess, is because I'm not, unless like somebody's swearing in the background and I don't want you to hear it, then it might not be a little bit.
That's no one in our family.
Damn
We
it.
don't do that.
Yeah. And how long did Jimmy have his land before building his house?
I had it for, we did a land contract in November
Of what year?
of 2020. And then actually in the video of the Let's Build a House in the very beginning, when I said it's November, whatever, we're going for our first look at the property. That was the day before we signed the contract. And then,
I don't know if I ever put that in the video.
yeah, it's in there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So November something, and then I think in March, was it March or April, that they started clearing the land.
Yeah.
So what is that, December, January, February? 5 months.
How long did you have the land before building your house, which you just answered? And how long did you have the plans for the actual house?
The plans we've had since February.
Oh, so you had the land first before you...
We had the land, and then we looked for the plans. We had an idea of what the house was gonna look like. We knew it was gonna be a ranch, 1 story. I mean, there is the bonus room, but like for us, we're staying here.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
it was
originally it
gonna be-
wasn't supposed to be a bedroom. It was just gonna be a bonus room.
yeah, it was just gonna be whatever up there. And then we seen how much wasted space was up there, and then we're like, we gotta do something with this. We can't just,
Right. Which comes to our next question. Did you tweak the plans at all?
we tweaked the plans a lot.
And then did you tweak the plans to fit yours or Samantha's wants, or both?
More Samantha's. Not to say that I didn't have any, but
Saying it.
I'm not like one of them, like, I gotta have it. They're, you know,
She made some, like, she wanted the light, an extra light.
yeah, she wanted like an extra light here, or I kind of like pushed her closet in a little. You know, her closet, if you remember I think in the very beginning, it was outrageous. It was like 15 feet by 12 feet or something.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. But then I wanted the big shower. We both wanted the big shower.
Right.
So by the time I started laying everything, that bathroom was the very last thing framed. That bathroom wasn't even framed when I got the inspection for the drywall to go in.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like the bathroom was one giant square. The inspector came in and went, okay, that's good, go ahead. While they were drywalling, I was building the bathroom. That's how on the fly that was.
And then you were gonna have a smaller linen closet, but then Samantha decided she wanted a bigger one, which I like the bigger one better,
The linen closet.
in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, she wanted a closet in there, because before it was gonna be
Just
like
open space.
Open space, and it's like,
Yeah.
why not put something in there? The only other thing was her office did not turn out to be as big as, it's the same size as it was on the plan.
Doesn't
And
look
on the
as
plan
big.
it looks, and then cause she does graph paper and she does
Yeah.
like furniture with that, and everything works out on graph paper, but you look at that room and it's like, that desk is not fitting in here. It will fit in there, but
It'll
it
be
just
tight.
doesn't look like it.
It's gonna be tight.
It's gonna be tight. I'm like, hey, your closet, your master closet is bigger than your office. Just make your office in there.
There you go. There's no window in there. That would be boring.
That would be.
Who's in charge of picking out the inside of the house, the floors, the counters, the paint?
Both of us.
Yeah. They just ordered their appliances.
Yeah.
Who will be doing the landscaping?
Me.
And sorry for all the questions. No, we
No
don't.
problem.
We have no problem with that. We said ask us anything.
Anything.
Stephanie Supp said, could you two be any cuter? What is one thing in your new house that was non-negotiable for you and one thing that was non-negotiable for Samantha?
Mine, when you see this,
We
I
don't
want-
know what it is.
I
It's
want-
going to be a prize, as my nephew Steve used to say when he was little.
no, I'm going to tell everyone what it is.
Oh, okay.
And when it finally happens, I want comments up the screen about how gorgeous
It's called
this
Up
is.
the Wing Wang.
Up the wing wang. I was foot down, nobody has a choice, the front door. When you see this front door, it's all I'm gonna say. This front door is gorgeous. And it was like, you don't have to say, I'm just showing you what we're getting.
And the
here.
only thing I didn't like about his idea of the front door, because I haven't seen the door, is it's not going to have a screen. Now, I realize it's going to be a gorgeous door and you don't want to hide it with the screen, but we've shown him options that you can put a screen up and he won't
Yeah.
even go with that because he'd get a nice flow from these windows to the door. It would be a beautiful flow of air.
It would, but you can also, that's open, you can open the window in the office, same flow.
No, it's not. The wall will be blocking it.
And her non-negotiable was the kitchen. Her island, mainly her island. Because the island we have is huge. I think it's
It's big.
5 foot by 9 foot.
Yeah.
And that was another on the fly we did to the plans because when we ordered the cabinets, while we were designing the layout of the kitchen, we got to a point to where it was like a 4x4 island was the only thing that would work. And she's like, you got your door. I'm getting that island. So I had to bust down a wall in there, make a little, it was a whole, rebuild everything so the cabinets could go back. And now she's back to her huge island.
See, this is why it's good that you're building
Well, yeah,
it
that's
yourself, because if somebody else was building it, it would be cha-ching, cha-ching,
Oh yeah, that
cha-ching.
would have been. I guarantee you, it would have been an extra 10 to 15,000 for all the changes. Where it was like last
Yeah.
minute, like, oh, we better do this instead.
And then she wants to know, are we all invited to the housewarming?
Yes,
Yep. You just gotta find out where he lives.
yeah, find out.
Diana Antu said, great video. So on Ask Us Anything, since you do all the tag with Jimmy, has your subscribers increased? No, not really. But I haven't lost any either, so you haven't been detrimental.
See,
So far.
but I haven't been an asset either. But
You have been an asset. I will say that I do get my most views between my meeting highlights and whenever Jimmy's on. I do get my most views.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
So I would say that that's good. I'll give you credit for that.
Thank you. Man, I'm getting credit for what? That's twice in a week. I get
I
credit
know.
for that. I got credit for finding the dishwasher. I'm just living
Yeah.
high here.
Yeah, and then he just found out we're going to give him a pool table.
Boom!
Boom! He doesn't
Didn't even have
get
to go
in
into the raffle.
What? How did I start off the
You
question?
don't even have to lose to raffle.
Yeah.
Right.
How did I start that off? When I was telling you about the pool table.
Well, me and your father have discussed it, and since you never win a raffle, I'm like, oh great, what am I going to get, a bike?
A broken bike.
Right?
But we're going to give him the pool table. Janice W. What's her cat's name? I told you the
Oh.
other day. Told you the other day. It's an Irish.
Finn.
Finn. Yep.
Haha.
She says my cats won't come to kitty, 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 but when I call here, Finny, Finny, Finn, so call
Yeah,
Finny.
Finny. Here, Finn.
And then her other cat Max won't come unless you call him Maxie, 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 oh Patty.
Yeah, Maxie, obey.
There you go. Susanna Brightline says, great, ask me anything today, Sandy, and she's really enjoying hearing your news.
Thank you.
Carla Johnson wants to know if you could make a 1-minute call to yourself at any point of your life, past or present, when would it be and what would you say?
Finish school.
I would say past.
I don't know
and-
if you heard Jim.
No, we're not discussing that. I would say past, and I would go back and call myself and say, you are not hiring the foundation guys to do your house. Hire somebody else. Because they...
Well, I would have thought it would have been the roofers.
No, it's a tie. The roofers, Pete ticked me off, but if it weren't for the foundation guys, I'd be sitting in my living room right now with this done.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they put me 2 months behind.
But that was because of the pandemic, though. Really?
No, had nothing to do with the pandemic.
No?
They were working at other jobs, like, oh, well, we're going to be done with this tomorrow, and then they'd go to another job. Oh, we'll be done with this next week, and then, oh, we'll come and put half your forms up, and oh, yeah, just, it was a nightmare.
No. If I
Did a
could,
good job, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I mean, it wasn't like it was shoddy work, it's excellent work, it's just.
took a long time to get here.
Exactly.
Mine would be the day I had my panic attack when I was driving. I would call myself and say, okay, you had a panic attack. It's nothing to worry about. Don't let this trap you in your house for the next 18 years, which it did. So I would do
You
that.
had a panic attack, don't worry. You're gonna have many more when you go into this little cottage with 28 kids.
I never had any anxiety attacks like that, but I probably average 3 or 4 a month, really. But I've learned to
That many?
manage, yes, but I've learned to manage them. I really have
I
learned
like
how to
maybe
manage
once
them.
a year. Well, with this
No.
house a lot more.
Yeah. Number 2 is, which one of your scars has the best story?
This one right here.
You should shave your head one day so you can show them the scar.
Not shaving my head. I have 2. Actually, I have 2 scars that have really good stories. The one they already know was when she slammed my head into the,
Which I didn't do.
which she did. She slammed it
No,
in there
I
because I
didn't.
wasn't listening. Gashed it open. What was it? 85 stitches or something like that.
Real quick, he was running around the store. I grabbed the back of his hoodie and pulled him back, and he jerked away and he fell and he went into one of those sock racks that hold the socks. It hit the top of his head and split his head open. And then he fell to the floor and he was holding his head, and I was so mad, typical mother. I says, just get your ass up. There's nothing wrong with you. You're being a big old baby. And he took his hand away and the blood just splurted out, because you know how head wounds are. And so then all the people in the store looked at, what a mother. Look at that mother. And so then somebody had grabbed a towel off one of the racks and we put it on it. And then we went to the doctors, but they were at lunch. We went to the vet because we figured it was a doctor. They were, because it was in Croswell when we were at the cottage.
Yes.
Oh, no wonder you don't like going to the cottage.
Exactly.
And we ended up, we had to pull which we let you pull, the
yeah.
rope for the valves for the
For the ambulance.
for the volunteer fire department. Went to the hospital. As soon as we got there, the nurse said, what happened? And he said to them, my mother pushed me into a rack. So once again, pulled
Here
over to the
comes social
side.
services.
Social services came. So then afterwards, for some reason, my mother thought grandma, typical grandma.
Yep.
So
We
let's
gotta go to
bring
Big
one.
Boys
We
because
gotta
that
go to
was
Big
my
Boys.
favorite thing to do when we did go up to the cottage was go to Big Boys with Grandma.
Yeah, and we used to get a sundae.
Yeah.
And so we sat up at the counter, and the waitress says, oh my goodness, look at that big old Band-Aid on your head. How did you get hurt? And he said, my mother pushed me into a rack. I said, take that ice cream away from him. Okay, explain your other scar.
Okay, so that was the one scar. The other scar was I have a framing square. I have several framing squares. But when you're laying out, like for walls that are 16 on center, I have a framing square that has like a V cut into the metal at 14 and a half, because that's the difference between the studs, and it's easier to, you put your one side on the layout and you hold your pencil and you just kind of scrape it and you move along. That way you don't have to find 14, and you know what I mean? It's always there and you can just move down the wall real fast. So I have another square for aluminum. When you're cutting aluminum, you score it with a knife and then you bend it and it'll snap off. So there were 2 of my squares out that day. I was cutting aluminum, and I don't remember who it was. Some guy that I used to work with was working on framing, so he had the other square. Well, for some reason, he wanted my square. So I was changing my blade, and he was behind me and switched the squares. So now I have the square with the V cut out. So I have a brand new blade, and I'm holding it down like this. I started the knife, and I got to that 14 and a half, and the knife hit it, came up, hit this finger, and I cut from here all the way up to the bone. Like, to the bone. Immediately grabbed my hand. I was with Bob, Uncle Bobby. And I'm like, Bob, we're going to the hospital. He goes, how bad is it? I go, I know we're going to the hospital. And our joke was always, like, even my friends, we always did movies. And he goes, well, how bad is it? I'm like, it hit the bone, it hit the bone. And he's like, are you serious? And I let go, and it was like a massacre. And he's like, holy, let's go. So that was at 12 o'clock. It was like 12 o'clock. They stuck my hand in this goo. Like, they didn't bandage it, they just stuck it in this whatever.
Oh, like a cement glue.
Some kind of crap that just stopped it from bleeding, apparently. And I sat in that thing from 12 o'clock until 10:30 at night when I was finally seen.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I was so pissed off.
Didn't you cut tendons or something?
Oh yeah, I cut tendons. It took, like, if you, like, this finger, you can make a square. Like, this finger, I can only, that's as far as I can go.
I don't have any scars.
No.
Number 3 is, would you rather live in a big city or a farm?
A farm.
Big city.
Farm.
Jim would rather live, yeah, but when I come to live here, I'll live in a farm-like area.
You will.
Judy Reve wants to know what color your cabinets are gonna be.
I don't know. It's hard to.
And are
like,
they gonna be Amish? Cause there's,
No,
somebody
they're
else
not.
had asked me on another
Yeah, they're
video.
not Amish, but it's like
Are they custom built or they're just standard?
no, they're custom built, but they're like, what's it called? Like Navajo white, maybe. Like not white, but
Like a pearl?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, the other day I was here and Samantha was trying to show me what color it was, so I looked it up on my phone, and now all I get on Google are all these suggestions for,
Villa, Greek villa,
yeah.
Greek villa. Look it up. That's the color of.
Don't
the
look it
walls.
up, because then you know what? On Google, it's gonna constantly.
If you look up Greek villa, that is the color of most of the house.
Sparkly Susan says, fun stuff.
Greek villa from Sherwin-Williams, by the way.
Kat on Point said paying off someone's house is elaborate. She once knew a woman who came into some crazy money from a distant relative and paid off all of her best friends' houses and cars, and she was blown away. Also, she wants to know, Jimmy doesn't like your homemade pizza? Jimmy had the flu, and so he associates the flu with his pizza, with the pizza. So that's like
It was toast. it was toast with cheese.
everybody loved my pizza. Everybody. And I think it's probably like a mind thing, because my mother made the worst salmon patties. And, you know, like Joan at Joan's Pointed Plate sent me a picture of her dinner, and she had like some salmon and some squash and some artichokes. Not artichokes. Asparagus. And I loved everything on the plate with the salmon. The salmon looked good, and when it's served, it looks good, but I'm not going to try it. Andy Bunn said, always enjoy it, never too long. Well, we'll see about that today. This one's taking a little long.
The third one's at 20 minutes almost.
Yes, I know. Rosemary Lopez wants to know if I've ever seen Wuthering Heights. No, I've never seen that one. I have to look for it. Rosemary also said, go dry camping. Go dry camping is a once in their lifetime. I've never heard of dry camping.
Is that where you don't drink? That ain't happening.
Dee Dee wants to know, do you get more than one soulmate in your life?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's possible.
I don't know. I think you could, but you might have to move to another area, because if you've lived in this
I don't
area.
really believe in like soulmates. I mean, I believe there's like you're meant to be with who you're with,
Right.
but I don't know about.
You just get to it, like Jim and I, you get to a point, like we've been together for 55 years. It's just,
Yeah, but if she's got money,
yeah,
I was
okay,
saying, yeah.
Jim. I was just gonna be nice and romantic and that, but then I got that.
He's not lying though.
no, I mean after she's dead.
Yeah,
After.
thank you, you're gonna wait till I'm dead. We keep talking about like I'm gonna
Be
move
like,
in with me.
hey baby,
saying
what's
that-
up?
I keep saying I'm gonna move in here because I'm just presuming
How
that
big a
Jim's gonna
boat
go
do you
before
got?
me. It's just, Jim and I are just like, we're just so much alike, I think. It's just why we stay together for so long. In 1952, Trouble said Uncle Remus was a Briar Rabbit.
What?
From the, when you were asking who the Uncle Remus was on that video
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
was a Briar Rabbit. Well, once again, like we do apologize because it's so long, because Jimmy doesn't.
I know.
He
I
just-
love it when they're long.
I know, but you know, like I just know I don't mind watching a long video, but I never sit down and watch like one whole long video. Although, like I talked about this in my daily vlog, I won't watch a 6-hour movie, but I'll watch, and it's, you know, like I'll binge watch something.
See, I'm the opposite. Like when I go on YouTube, if I see like a 4-minute video or a 5-minute video, I'm like, ah, man. If I see like a 19 or a 28, I'm like, there we go. That's me.
Oh, see, now I watch a lot of little. When I'm binge
Oh,
watching.
I can't stand the little ones that you have to flip through and they're only 8 seconds or 10 seconds.
Oh, no.
I'm like,
When I watch my YouTube videos, I watch my shortest ones first, make my comments, and then go into my long ones. That's how I watch them.
see, I just go right for the long one.
Oh, and I watched last night, which I think you and Danny both would like, on Netflix with Will Arnett. It's called Murderville. It's a 30-minute comedy. There's only 6 parts, so you can finish it
Is
like
that
in
the one
3
with
hours.
Conan O'Brien?
Well, no, each week there's a special guest star.
Yeah, so Conan O'Brien was the first
Was
one.
the first guest?
Yeah, we didn't like that. We tried it.
You didn't like it?
Well,
It's a
I'm going
little-
to be honest. I did. Samantha didn't.
I loved it. I just thought it was, because.
But I think Conan O'Brien is funny. Most people don't think Conan O'Brien
yeah,
is funny.
I watched them just about, I've only got one more to watch, because I did end up going to bed last night, but it's, Will Arnett plays, the main characters in the show have a script, but the guest star doesn't.
And they have to figure out.
And so they improvise through the whole thing, and then they have to guess who the murderer is.
Yes.
Based on the clues that the actors have given them. And I've watched 5 episodes, and I guessed 4 out of 5.
So what was the Conan O'Brien one?
That's the one I got wrong. I'm not going to tell in case people watch. Then
Oh,
they'll know
that's
who the
That's true.
thing is.
But no, the
But
funny
Conan
one.
O'Brien is the one I got wrong, because I didn't really understand the concept of the show at that point.
Right. No, the funny one was Samantha. What was it? Wolf in Me, or I think it's called Wolf in Me. It's on Netflix. The Wolf in Me, or something like that. It's some chick, it's about a wolf. Well, she turns into a werewolf at night, and so like 7.
Oh,
6
that's Wolf. Yeah, I know what the name of that is.
So she gets 6 episodes in to where they actually show her as a wolf.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was a wolf.
Oh,
like
that's
that's
the
the name of the show.
Wolf Like Me.
Wolf Like Me.
Wolf
Like
Like
that's
Me.
the name. And I could hear Jamie and Jesse and everyone laughing in the living room, and I was trying to sleep. So I came out. I'm like, "What are you guys laughing so hard about?" You're like, "Mom just figured out that she's
Yeah.
a wolf."
It's
like
either-
it's the title.
It's either on Peacock or Hulu.
Oh, it's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I have that on my list of things I want to watch. That does look funny, with Josh Gatz.
Yeah.
He's in that too. Okay, sorry about the length of it. Jimmy's not.
I'm not
But, and Jim's been sitting here
patient.
patiently, but they got to see how dark it gets out here.
See,
But it still stayed light because and it still stayed warm in here.
still warm.
But don't forget to check out our Tag Tuesday, because Jimmy's coming up with the questions this week.
Look out.
Look out, Roy. But if you have any questions,
Ask us.
ask us anything. We'll answer them. It might be long, but we'll get to it.
Yep.
So if you're new to our channel,
Comment.
like
Subscribe.
and share.
And mimeograph.
There you go.
See you later.
And there you go.
And there you go.